Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. This is episode number 66 at the BS Machine. Welcome, guys. I'm your host, Tommy Kendi, and it is a absolute honour once again to be here with you and gracing your airwaves once again. Today we're talking about something that I myself I've had this aha moment this week about a number of things, but one of the I guess the biggest aha moments I've had this week has been around keeping shit simple and just almost dumbing things down. And it's been really relevant for me, especially this week, around just sort of looking at things for what they are and not making it more complicated than what it needs to be. And there's been a bunch of things with me that I've sort of been like avoiding, shoving under the carpet and just avoiding a few things and it's been a pretty cool week for me in terms of just dumbing shit down, like literally just going back and looking at the obvious of what's actually going on, and then being able to and being courageous enough to make a decision on based on what's actually in front of me. Now, this might relate to you on a number of different ways, but in terms of dumbing shit down, our brain, our mind, is designed to make things way more complicated than what they are. And so what we end up doing is we either project ourselves into the future and imagine all the things that could go wrong, and then or all the things that could go right even, and we just project ourselves off into the future and we just imagine these things that could happen. Or and usually, let me just keep going with the future. And usually what might happen if you're projecting yourself into the future is that you'll take with you certain things that have happened to you in the past. So certain pain, certain experiences, certain shit that's happened with you in the past, you'll take it with you in your imagination to the future. So what will happen is you'll assume that all the crappy and the fucked up shit that happened to you, that hurt you or that wounded you in the past, you'll take it with you into the future, but that's actually totally untrue. So if you bring yourself into the present moment and you actually have a look at the actual thing that you're dealing with, and I guess you could say chunk it down, you sort of just sit back and go, what's actually going on if I didn't have all my trauma, all my wounds and all that type of stuff, and what's actually going on, you would probably be able to look at that situation, that experience, that conflict, that argument, whatever, and be able to look at it and go, fuck, you know what? It's actually not that fucking complicated. And another thing, not another thing, but there's certain ways to do this, and this week for myself, I've actually done it with a couple of things that I've been putting off. For example, journaling. If you have a look at it, there's so many people that know they should journal and they don't fucking do it. But the reason that they don't do it, and it's such a simple thing, is that they go, oh, well, I don't know what I'm going to write. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what happens when I'm open my book, and then they don't fucking do anything. And so, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram or not, but on Instagram this week I did this really simple reel where it was just like 3 steps to journaling, and it was basically like, sit down, step 1, step 2, open up your fucking book, and step 3, start writing. And that's it. That's all journaling is. And so there doesn't have to be this big spiritual awakening in order for you to sit down and fucking journal. Now, that's a really simple task, or a simple thing that all of us should be doing. But you can even do it with way more things that could be a little bit more intense. So I'll give you an example with me this week. So me and my ex-girlfriend, we've got this dog, right? and we bought the dog together and all that type of stuff. And so, you know, many of you know my dog's name's Chili. But this week I sort of just sat back and I thought, fuck, man, this 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off thing just doesn't fucking work. It doesn't work. And I was able to sort of sit back and look at the situation for what it actually was. It's like, how long are you meant to go on with this whole 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off thing? So I sort of looked at the situation for what it was, and I had a chat to my ex, and I said, look, where are you at with this whole fucking thing? Like, what are we going to do? You know, like, are you looking at keeping him? And I sort of pushed the situation, and it just didn't look like to me like she was going to, it just didn't look like to me like she was going to give him up. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, you know what? I've either got a choice. I can either keep going with this 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off thing for the rest of my life, or I'm just going to have to call it for what it is. And I just rang her and I said, look, if you're not going to give him up, I'm just going to have to, you know, I have to give up Chili. And as hard as that was, and it was super hard. Like, I fucking loved that dog, and I really felt it in my heart, and it really, really hurt to do that. But I just thought internally and intuitively, I was like, you know what? It's just actually not okay for the dog to do this whole 2 weeks with me, 2 weeks with her, and blah, blah, back and forth, back and forth. It's just ungrounding. And then secondly, I thought for myself, you know, I don't want to have a situation where for 2 weeks I've got a dog and then 2 weeks I don't. And then, so I basically rang her and I said, you know what, let's sort this out. If you're not going to give him up, you can take Chili. And as sad as that was when I dropped him off, I teared up, all that type of stuff. It was super, super hard, but I knew that I was doing the best thing for Chili, because I've always had his best interest at heart. So, you know, I gave him back, and so I don't have a dog. Boo. But you know what? I'm open to whatever happens in the future, and so. But it had to get done. So that's one thing that sort of happened this week, where I was just like, you know what? I got to pull this out from under the rug. I've got to have a look at it. And I sort of chunked it down and went, look, what's the obvious here? We can keep kicking the road down the can, or we can just get this done. So that's one thing. The other thing, which my current partner, my current girlfriend helped me along with, but this was another big aha moment. When I have shit that's sort of wrong with my body, I always push it off. I'm always like, nah, let's just, you know, I'll deal with it another time. And while me and my girlfriend were away, I had corona. The Rona had COVID, and I did these couple of big coughs, and I actually felt I got a fucking hernia. Like, who gets a fucking hernia? But anyway, if anyone does, it's me. So I got a hernia, and I felt this hernia, and I'm like, ugh. And I was just putting off going to the doctor because I knew what would happen. It'd be like, basically, go get a scan, and then I was sitting there freaking out what they'd find if they'd do the scan and whatever, and I was just overthinking the whole situation. And my girlfriend just goes, dude, just make the call, go to the fucking doc, get a scan and get it done, and then we'll deal with whatever's going on then. So exactly what we thought would happen. I got the scan, I got a hernia, and now I just have to decide whether I get an operation or not, or whether I fix it by surgery or try and fix it myself. But they were two big things for me this week, which really, where I was able to sort of sit back and go, fuck, man, like, you have to be able to look at things for what they actually are. And I believe, I know so many of my clients have, these constant things. The reason that they're not moving forward, or before they got to me anyway, is because, they're looking at all these huge things, and they're sitting there going, fuck, man, this is going to take a lot of work. This is going to take a lot for me to do this. But then they don't fucking start. And so, so you really got to pull it back. And I've tried this week to do a number of things. Sorry, not a number of things. I've tried this week to almost put things into a 3-step process, into a maximum of 4-step process. So imagine if every single thing that you ever had to do or that you've got now, you just put into a 3-step process. For example, the journaling, which we mentioned before, 3 steps. It's like sit the fuck down, open your fucking diary, and then start writing. Done. And then you've done it. You're journaling. How cool is that? Same thing with Chili. 3 steps. It's like, right, have the conversation, find out where she's at, and then deal with it and take action. 3 steps, got it done. Same thing with the fucking hernia. 3 steps. It's like, right, go to the doc, step 1, get the scan tabs, step 2, step 3, sit back and go, right, I've got the results, what I'm going to do with my hernia. Am I going to fix it, not fix it? But at least I know now. So a lot of us, like, that's the thing. It's like you can actually bring things back to a 3 or 4-step process. And I believe that to be so powerful, because it makes everything just seem so much easier. And you know what, even going to yoga, like or doing exercise, it's what's the 3 steps, right? The 3 steps are, cool, you want to do exercise, so step 1 would be putting on your exercise gear. Step 2 would be getting in your fucking car and driving to the gym or driving to the beach or driving wherever. And step 3 is just to actually start doing the exercise. Like, it sounds so simple, and you don't have to make a big deal of it. It's like, oh no, I've got to get healthy first before I do my exercise, or no, I've got to do that course first before I can start to do this, or no, I've got to do this. And fuck that, man. Like, it's just, life can be so simple if we allow it to be. And when we simplify things, it doesn't give room for the hard stuff to come in. And I'm doing this with big decisions in my life as well, like giving back Chili. That's huge. Like, I mean, I brought that dog up. I spent so much time training him, walking him, feeding him, all of it. I spent 2 years with that dog, and he became my best mate. And it's not that I'm heartless or anything, but I was able to, through the 2 or 3 steps or whatever, just look at it and go, all right, well, this is what it is. And just get it the fuck done, So it's like, for all of us, guys, I mean, I really think that as you're listening to my voice, and I really think that there would be a number of things that would be coming up for you in terms of, well, one, what you're not doing. And, the reason you're not doing it is because you feel like it's this huge, it might be this huge project or whatever the fuck. But, we've got to realise, we've got to understand that any big, either life-changing moment or any big task or any business that you start or any creative stuff that you begin, it has to begin. Like, it actually has to start. And even though you feel like it's going to be super awkward, it's going to be, it's going to be tough, it's going to be hard, it might be, but while you're doing it, it's not going to be hard for you. While you're doing it, because you're in the actual moment of doing it, you're in the process of doing it, it's not going to be hard. The only part that's hard is when you're imagining what it would be like if you were actually doing it. Like, do you reckon, the guys that do marathons and stuff, I mean, they would be, imagine if they never started running, or imagine if they never started training. I bet you that those guys, well, I know, because I'm not a marathon runner, but I know that when I choose to go for a run, even if I can't be fucked, while I'm actually running, in the moment of the breath, in the moment of running, I'm in there and I'm enjoying the fact that I'm moving my body. My body's giving me, it's giving me messages going, thank you so much, Tom, for actually getting in your fucking car and coming to the beach and taking me for a run. I fucking love you. So all those things, they're, big, small, medium, whatever. It's like the way to start, you almost have to dumb it down. You actually have to bring yourself back and go, right, what's step 1? And the simplest thing could be, step 1 is to put on your exercise gear, or if you're putting shit off at work, or with your business, and you know that you have to attend to something, even with your body. Like if you have to attend to something, you have to get something checked. It's just go through the steps. It's like, okay, step one, I'm getting it done. Or, step one, I'm going to make that phone call. Step two, I'm going to see what that phone call results in, and then I'm just going to go for it and get back into it. Step three, whatever, you deal with it, So, and guys, you got to remember, and as I'm talking, I'm reminding myself of this as well, is that time is man-made. It's actually man-made, and I might have mentioned this before in a previous podcast, but it is. Time is absolutely irrelevant, and when people say I don't have time to do that, it's such a fucking load of shit. It's like, no, I don't have time to do that because I've got to do this. That's actually untrue. The reason you don't have time to do it is because you're not putting an importance on it, or you're not making it an important part of your life. So stop fucking lying to yourself, and I'm only telling you this because I'm calling myself on my own shit on so many things. But you got to remember, time is man-made. So if there was no person that designed the clock or the hours and all that type of stuff, then there would be no time. All it would be daylight or fucking night time. There'd be no morning, afternoon. It's just either daylight or night time. Yeah. So this whole time thing, this whole thing around just sitting back and using time as your excuse, or saying, oh, you know what, it's probably too far gone. I'm too late with that. I'm too old for that. No, you're not. You're not fucking too old at all. Like, you're just not too old. You're not too young. You're not too middle-aged. You're not too sick. You're not too fat. It's like, you've got, you just do it. Just do it. See if you can take out 2 or 3 things from that, from under the carpet, under the rug. Just 2 or 3. And make it a 3-step process. It's like, don't worry about the other steps. It's like, what's 3 steps that are just super obvious for me to do right now? And think about it. It's like, okay, exercise, going to yoga, whatever. It's like, right, put my yoga stuff on, grab my yoga mat, step in the car, drive to a yoga class. Once you're in the yoga class, you're fucking there. It's not like you're going to walk out halfway through the yoga class, are you? No. So these are the things, and everything is such an easy. It's when you simplify things, it even looks easy, even the big stuff. So if you can find a way to simplify things down to 3 or 4 steps, holy shizzle, guys! Like, I've really noticed this week that even though part of it's hurt, like there was stuff that hurt, but it's hurting me way less than if I just kept kicking the can down the road. And now, once you actually take those 2 or 3 or 4 steps, then you give the opportunity for new things to land in your life. And I know that new things are going to land in my life. Like, whether it's a new dog or whether Chili comes back, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be. Even with my hernia, it's like I'm dealing with it, even though I'm like, I sit back laughing going, Tom, how the fuck do you get a hernia? Like, you're healthy, you look after your body, but apparently you can get a hernia. You can have a hernia since when you're born, and sometimes it just rocks on or just messes you up at any age. So but yeah, I mean, guys, so that wasn't the only thing I was going to talk about. The other thing I was going to talk about was this whole thing with time, which I did mention before. But as you see, even though I said time's irrelevant, which it is, and I totally believe that, but when time is relevant is when you're wasting it. When you're wasting time, then it's super, super relevant, because as the days go past, and as the weeks go past, and as the months go past, and as the years go past, you start to see that if every single day is exactly the same as each one of them, then it's like, it's just not you. That's just not what you're here to do. You're not here to have every day exactly the same. And obviously parts of your day are going to be the same. You know, if you're going to work, or you're working on a business, or the people you're around, and that's totally fine, totally acceptable. Well, fuck, who am I to say that's totally acceptable? So, you know, I'm not your boss, or I'm not God or anything like that, but I do know that that my listeners, that this little community that I have, well, it's not that little anymore, it's getting fucking right up there, but this community that I've sort of collated within the BS machine, and the people that I've got on, you know, I know that my community, that they still keep listening because they resonate with the shit that I'm going through, you know, and they resonate. You guys resonate with all this stuff, and it's so, you know what, even buying a car, you know, or buying a new laptop, or all this stuff where you want to give yourself a gift, or you want to honor yourself with something, but you don't do it because you're sitting back going, oh my God, is it money, or is it I don't deserve it, or whatever the fuck it is. It's like, man, no, like, you've got to get it done. What's the 3 steps? If you want a new laptop, it's like, okay, what would be the 3 steps? Check out the laptop you want, go to the fucking shop, ask how much it is, and then fucking buy it. And it'll work. It just happens. It's there, you know. It's all these things. You can really simplify life down to a 2 or 3 step process with most of the things. And then if you need any more steps on top of that, obviously they will come, but it'll be a different project. It'll be a different thing, because once you've done those 3 steps, you've started the process. You know, you've begun. It's moving. Things are happening. Things are clearing for you. So, you know, it's going to be a sort of a quicker podcast this week, because to be honest, it's 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, and I've just been recording with my band all day, which has been so cool. So one of my good buddies is auditioned for he auditioned for The Voice, and so he's I'm very sure he's going to do really well. So we actually recorded a song for him this week. We recorded a song for him today, and he's absolutely going to kill it. He's him and his daughter, so we recorded a song for them today, and they're going to be on The Voice, which is quite exciting. I can't say any names just yet. And so we recorded a song just to see, if they get their bloody 30 seconds of fame, or 15 minutes of fame, or whatever the word is, we can get a song out, and you know, they can rock it out. So that's it, guys. So there it is, So I mean, I'd love to set you a bit of homework to next week, to next Monday. Till the next podcast is, but who knows, I might even release another podcast during the week. Who knows? I'm really enjoying these ones. So, but yeah, quick, straight to the point. But homework is for you to look under your little carpet, your little dirty carpet, see what's underneath it, and pull out just a couple of things, whether it's your health, whether it's, you know exactly what it is. And even just me talking through this, you know exactly what it is, and you're thinking about it now, and you might even have a little smile on your face because you're like, fuck you, Tommy. But just pull out a couple of things from under the carpet that's been sort of sitting there, and those 2 things that you already know what they are, and just see if you can do your choice, whatever, a 3-step little thing. It's like step 1, what's step 1? I think you already know what step 1 is. Step 2 would be to, I think you just answered that while I'm saying it. And what's step 3? Cool. Now, we do that with each of those ones. Step 1, easy. Just think about what I did. Think about journaling. Step 1, open your book. Step 1, sit down. So simple. Step 2, open your book. Ooh, that's pretty hard, isn't it? Step 3, you grab a pen and you start fucking writing. Yay! that's pretty much it. And you can use that mentality for all of it. And you can be a bit of a dickhead, like get into it, do what you need to do. Don't take yourself too seriously, and get it the fuck done. 3 steps, 4 steps maximum, and then see what happens after that. Love you guys lots. Thank you for spending this epic 25 something minutes with me. And yeah, have an epic day, guys. I really appreciate you. And there's been a couple of times this week where people have come up to me just even on the beach and stuff. They're like, "I love your podcast." I'm like, "Ah, cool. That's awesome." So if you do see me and you know, obviously I'm not going to know who you are, but it'd be cool if you came up to me and said, "Tommy, I love your podcast, mate." Or even tell me you hate it, one or the other. I don't care. Either way, I'm just excited that so many peeps are listening. Yeah, if you want to hit me up, I'm just on Instagram at Tommy Kendi, Instagram /Tommy Kendi, and feel free to ask any questions or just come up and say a g'day. All right, guys, have an epic week. Love you heaps, and get your 3 steps rocking. See you later.